Now, was that generosity or was it grooming? Because the world would soon learn about Neverland, starting with the sleepovers. Jackson regularly had the boys sleep the night at Neverland in his bedroom, sometimes even sharing his bed. Now, he claimed it was all innocent, just sleeping together like a big slumber party, but it was a big step beyond, having a merry-go-round in his front yard. People saw that he was childlike, but that didn't necessarily mean that he was asexual. Jackson had even installed an alarm system that would alert him when anyone approached the bedroom. Now, wherever you come down on the criminal allegations, to the average person, his lifestyle was beyond weird. It was troubling. A 35-year-old megastar writing gushing notes to fifth graders, sleeping with them for weeks at a time in a bedroom with an early warning system. In the shadow of that behavior, the allegations that would follow really don't seem all that
I mean,
surprising.
that is
And it all
definitely weird
started when
indeed.
Jackson's car broke down.
I guess it depends on the context, though. Yeah, so I definitely get that can be really weird because, like, why only for that group? That's interesting.
Wilshire Boulevard.
Hey, Dumbbell, sorry
In
about
May
that.
1992, Michael Jackson needed a car.
I hope you can still hear me. Also, it's so weird my comment popped up first, but you typed before I did.
The owner of the rental shop offered him a deal. He'd give him a car for.
You believe innocent to begin? Yeah.
If
Same here.
Call his stepson, who was a big fan. Jackson said yes and got the
So someone else says guilty. Hey, Greg.
They became phone for car, and Michael's just call his stepson, who was a big fan. Jackson said yes and got the phone number of a 12-year-old boy, Jordan Chamber. They became phone friends. Again, bizarre. And Michael soon invited Jordy and his mom and sister to Neverland Ranch. By early 1993, they were staying there regularly, as well as traveling the world.
Good. You can hear me?
Paris, Morocco, all perspectives. According to the Chandlers, Michael and Jordy would often sleep in the same room together during these trips.
Okay, no, that is a little weird, indeed. Now it doesn't make him a rapist, but I get that's pretty weird because that is someone else's child. And see, if I was an uncle, right, which I am, if I did it with my nephews, that's normal because, well, they're part of my DNA, right? That is normal. In fact, I slept in the same bed as my mother did until I was 13. So yeah, I know that necessarily normal because I was developed really late, both mentally and, well, obviously neurologically, and maybe to an extent physically, right? Because I wasn't the normal height for a 13-year-old. In fact, I know that doesn't count, but hey, I was really short while the other boys were much taller than I am. So yeah, I basically was someone that is easily, well, vulnerable. That makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, that is weird because the thing is, though, it's not as though that's his nephew. That's a little interesting, but it doesn't make him an evil person. It's weird, but it doesn't make him evil for that. I mean, I'm sure that the parents did allow permission, but
the Chandler's home with the mom always present. One person who wasn't present, though, was Evan Chandler, Jordy's father. He had much of a presence in Jordy's life. He was a Beverly Hills dentist with screenwriting ambitions and a bad relationship with his ex-wife. He didn't go to the police, though. He went to lawyers. He floated ideas like filing for full custody or getting.
I hope that Stolas and Derek can come here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the heck Stolas is been because I'm surprised a few people are voting here.
Restraining order against Jackson.
A restraining order.
It became about money, and he was playing hardball.
This man is humiliated and not and beyond words like this.
Later in the transcript of that recording, one that I'm reasonably sure is accurate, when Chandler is asked if he thinks Jackson is having sex with his son, Chandler responds, quote, "I don't know. I have no idea." Pressed on that, he gets vague statements like, "I know Michael's bad for him." And he said his lawyers told him to be quiet about specifics.
What else for mother? You feeding him a treat? Yeah, I need to ask my heart about it because it's like personal stuff. So She's
So the
just feeding
discussion on that
she's just feeding Summer and Bella a doggy treat.
is about how Chandler can get back at his ex-wife, Jordy's mom. Then, Evan Chandler said a month after that tape recording, his son told him the truth. But he did it under sedation. Chandler, again a dentist, claims he extracted a tooth from Jordy, and under serious anesthesia, Jordy admitted that Jackson had molested him. And not for nothing, scientists say that drug can actually contribute to creating false memories. In any event, the father now demanded $20 million from Jackson to keep quiet. Jackson's attorneys reportedly counted up to $1 million, but there was no deal.
Interesting.
So Chandler then arranged for his son to meet with a psychiatrist. And during that session, Jordy described in detail what he said had happened: kissing, masturbation, oral sex. California law requires accusations like that to be reported to the police.
Of course.
And the next day, the Los Angeles Police Department opened a criminal investigation.
Hey, Lauren,
on August 24th,
we're doing fine.
The charges went worldwide.
And yeah, Dumbo, I did read part of that because I don't know what happened to the previous live stream. So basically, the police took you into the room to ask you questions, right? I'm surprised that you're still here right now. I hope they weren't being aggressive towards you. You know, you didn't have the box as proof. I hope that they were on your side though, because I was shocked to hear that when I told you about that yesterday, right? I didn't have the box with me because I was at work, right?
It was massive. Police interviewed Jordy and they searched multiple Jackson properties. They interviewed dozens of kids as well, some of whom said they had slept in bed with Jackson, but that nothing sexual had ever happened. The next month, the Chandlers filed their $30 million lawsuit. Now, until this time, besides the Chandler accusations, there really weren't many reasons to believe that Jackson was guilty. Although the whole "my kid started talking under anesthesia" angle wasn't known until later. But two people would quickly change a lot of minds. And the first one was Jackson's own sister, LaToya.
I will tell you that this is very difficult for me, but Michael is my brother. I love him a great deal, but I cannot and I will not be a silent collaborator of his crimes against small, innocent children. Now you stop and you think for 1 second and you tell me what 35-year-old man is going to take a little boy and stay with him for 30 days.
Some context on this one. In other interviews shortly before that one, LaToya said that she stood by Michael 1,000%.
Right.
And that there was nothing unusual about his relationships with the children.
Right.
She also said that she had proof of his behavior and offered to sell it to tabloids for $500,000.
Interesting.
But that fell through when she didn't come up with any proof. Years later, LaToya said she made it up because her physically abusive husband forced her to. So you decide.
Okay. Good. Wait. Oh, wait. Fuck. They weren't completely convinced. Shit. Honest God, they didn't arrest you at least. I guess because you don't have the box as proof, right? And Lauren, I'm glad you got back home. Honestly, I hope that your trip back home went well. Sorry if I'm talking a little bit sluggish right now. I'm just trying to warm myself up a bit. But Dumbo, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm just glad that they didn't arrest you or something at least. I guess because of how you don't have the box, so that's probably why. Yeah, so it's such a complicated spot that you're in.
The person who increased belief in Jackson's guilt was Jason Francie.
Don't understand. Your manager, yeah, I mean, whenever you're ready, you should definitely tell your manager, honestly, because they're supportive. I know they are. That's why you got hired. But there's no rush to tell, though.
The other person who increased belief in Jackson's guilt was Jason Francie, a 13-year-old son of Michael Jackson's former maid. Police had already interviewed Jason, who, like the other boys, said nothing had happened. But in a later interview, he changed his story, saying Jackson had tickled him and touched his genitals multiple times, sometimes for up to a few minutes, and stuffed $100 bills in his pants. He would repeat that allegation under oath 12 years later if some inconsistencies in his story would come out, though. The next month, police strip searched Jackson and photographed his genitals because Jordy Chandler had described spots on Jackson's penis.
What?
Now, to this day, people argue over whether that description was accurate or not. And to be honest, I just don't know enough to where to come down on that one. The month after that, Jackson bought his way out. He paid $22 million to the Chandlers and an additional $2 million to Jason Francie and his mother. Was that because Jackson was really guilty, or that he wanted to avoid a trial? When I worked in corporate America, I saw payouts for bad behavior, and I've seen big payouts just to avoid bad PR. And similarly, I've seen true victims, and I've seen people lie their rear ends off to get rich quick. So it's just hard to know.
Yeah, he
In
never
criminal
learned
cases
appropriate
against Jackson,
boundaries.
how do you
Yeah,
progress that?
but doesn't make him a
Two
rapist,
grand
though.
juries have been convened. One in Los Angeles and the other in Santa Barbara, where Neverland Ranch is located. They looked at the evidence and decided that at that time, they didn't have enough proof to bring an indictment. Now, technically then, the case was still open, but a few months later, Jordy told prosecutors he wouldn't testify in court. So after 19 months of digging, the DAs in both counties had no case. In the years that followed, the Chandler family fractured even further. Jordy legally emancipated himself from both parents.
I'm going for this ad. Oh, man, I agree with you both. I don't really blame them, considering the police were talking to me right, and the customers that were in there gave me looks like, why the police talking? I know, people are always judgmental, Dumbo, trust me. They're always like that. It's something personal. They just, I don't know, honestly. People can be really judgmental. They are. It's insane. Honestly, I think I may have that. Well, I mean, not like they got. I know when I got taken to DEI, when I basically got heat stroke, people they don't give me a weird look. They're giving me a concerned look, thinking, "Oh, is he gonna die? Is he all right?" I think it was just a family though, because I want to meet up a guy that I liked. He was 19, just to be friends with, and well, it's a little difficult story to talk about it because that's not important right now. And wasn't Michael Jackson? Yes, he's the king of pop. Yes. Yep. I agree with Greg on that. He is. He's still known for that to the day. You know, I think that's why on the previous live stream, most of the people that voted for him, and I could see why. I mean, I would too.
And his dad, Evan, closed his dental practice after his payout, and a few months after Jackson died, shot himself to death in his New Jersey home.
What?
So that's not good. Hey, on a totally unrelated note, some of you have wondered why my thumbnails and headlines sometimes change a few times after I publish these videos. I do A/B testing on every video title that I make, trying out a few variations of the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, that's the sponsor, right? Okay.
Like person. They focused heavily on his bond with 13-year-old cancer survivor Gavin Arvizo.
And so it was that we came back to our meeting at Neverland with 12-year-old Gavin. I'd found this easily the most disturbing moment of the
What,
past
because
8
he's holding his hand?
When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact that he shares your bedrooms.
Yeah.
Can you understand why people would worry about that?
Because they're ignorant.
No, and you're
Is it
ignorant.
really appropriate for a 34-year-old man to share a bedroom
Like,
with a child who is not related to him at all?
exactly. It doesn't make him an awful person. It is weird. Absolutely, though. It is. But it doesn't make him an evil person compared to most celebrities like O.J. Simpson, to name one. Or, hell, Bill Cosby. Oh, don't get me started with that motherfucker.
What should be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room? This is a guy trying to help heal a child. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed because he has a brother named Star. So him and Star took the bed, and I'm on the floor in the sleeping bag.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children. I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side, Macaulay Culkin's on this side, his sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed.
He looked like a man who couldn't understand appropriate boundaries with children.
Right.
After a decade since the last allegations, people were asking serious questions again. And some of those people worked for the county where Neverland was located, the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Department, child welfare officials, and the same district attorney who had dropped the charges when Jordy Chandler wouldn't testify. Hey, now's a good time to remind you, if I made a significant error anywhere, let me know in the comments and I'll pin a correction below. I also have all my sourcing down in the description box. Okay, so police quickly interviewed Gavin Arvizo, who said nothing inappropriate happened. But the investigations continued. Then, over the next few months, Michael's relationship with the Arvizo family changed. According testimony from ranch employees, the Arvizo family became a problem. The kids became unruly, damaging property, and were eventually asked to leave Neverland. And then their stories changed. Within months, the family had gone from uniformly praising him to saying Jackson started molesting Gavin shortly after the documentary. Deputies then raided Neverland Ranch with over 70 officers. They grabbed computers, photographs, and books. They never found any child pornography, which has been wrongly reported, but they did find some kind of standard pornography magazines, some of which had the kids' fingerprints on them. In any event, they arrested Jackson and filed 10 felony charges against him.
Interesting.
But they did find some kind of standard pornography magazines, some of which had the kids' fingerprints on them. In any event,
He's 5'11"? Oh, he's thin. 120 pounds? Oh my goodness, that's unhealthy weight. Is that possible for a man that's near 6 foot? Oh, that's anorexic. And I don't even weigh that much. I weigh less, way less than that. Golly.
Jackson and filed 10 felony charges against him, ranging from lewd acts with a child to abduction and extortion.
Interesting.
Hundreds of fans and media outlets outside the courthouse, wall-to-wall television coverage, Jackson impersonators, helicopters hovering, testimony from Jay Leno and Macaulay Culkin, who said Jackson never did anything inappropriate in front of him.
I knew it.
Arvizo and his brother Starr testified that Jackson showed them porn, gave them wine he called Jesus juice, speaking graphically and acting lewdly. There were 140 witnesses, mostly for the defense. Now, there were some staff members who corroborated somewhat creepy Jackson behavior, but no independent witness directly corroborated the Arvizo family's allegations. Instead, the defense did a good job of portraying the Arvizo family as essentially grifters.
They're
The
frauds.
mother already pulled off a successful and fake lawsuit against J.C. Penney, a department store. She claimed that mall security guards beat her and groped her. She won $152,000, but later admitted under oath that her injuries had come from her husband instead.
Huh?
She also admitted coaching her children to lie on the stand in that case, and would later be convicted for welfare fraud and perjury related to it. The defense.
So she's grooming her own children too. Wow. Okay, yeah, she should get locked up and pegged. Pardon my language. You can't be doing that to raise your own children to thinking that you could actually just put false gossip about other people that'll get you killed. Imagine a random guy doing this. Wouldn't he get crushed and reported? Most likely. But it depends on the person now. Imagine a random guy wearing a white glove and twisting about a zombie walking forward while moving backwards. Would you buy that record? Well, that's like comparing MJ. What word is that? A philanthropist who donated over $500 million to charities throughout his lifetime to a random fat, greasy truck driver with CP addiction. Of course, shit. No shit. You can't just compare it. I agree. Because the thing is, we know about MJ's behavior. You know, if you don't know someone, it's just like the same way for me. The reason why I didn't get arrested what Casey did is because, well, one, I know her. Two, she basically does multiple times. And three, basically how people know that I always act innocent and basically I'm child size. Of course, I'm going to be the victim of what that darn Arab native bastard basically did to me. Not to mention how many times I always had to call the police in the past for basically incidents I had to go through. Of course, I'm going to be the one that's always innocent and whatnot. Honestly. But I do agree that a grown man laying in bed with unrelated kids is extremely creepy. Yes, it doesn't make him a rapist, though, but it is really weird, so to speak. So I get it. It sucks, you know. I mean that he basically had his childhood robbed. I mean, my child was robbed, but I cannot just see myself doing that unless it's basically with my nephews and nieces because they're part of my DNA, right? Wherever that works, you know, because that's family related. So if that makes sense, if he was an EDP, oh, I get it. Then he still deserves blame. Huh? What adult does realize is the purpose to share a bad? Yeah. I get that. But you know what? I just want to say it straight up. He's innocent, and if others think otherwise, that's absolutely fine. I didn't realize until you said it. He exclusively made friends with boys between 7 to 14. I know that is a little interesting to think about it. No little girls, no kids outside the age group. Yeah, I know that is a little something. If he just loved being around kids, wouldn't he be around children of all ages? Yeah. So I wonder why is that age group? That's a little interesting. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. That's really interesting. I do wonder why is that age bracket. Yeah, we never know. It's the 80s. We're not gonna basically have high technology, even though we did have technology back then, but not like it is now. If that was the case, people know what my youngest cousin did. That was 2 decades ago, 2002, 3-ish. There's only one question you need to ask yourself if you're unsure of his guilt. Why would a grown man ever have a random child? Yeah, that's true though. It's irrelevant if people were looking for a payday. He does not contest the fact that he had random children sleeping in a bed. Yeah, true, true. That doesn't make him a rapist though. And yeah, it doesn't make him guilty of molestation. He had a skin condition? No, he bleached it. You can just have a skin condition like that. You see, at 11, if I find a porn magazine, you better believe I'm going through the pages. Yeah. Plus, his house was huge, and he always had tons of workers and guests at Neverland at any given time. A boy is going to be a boy if he sees what. Yeah, that's true, though. The magazine was published after the family left Neverland and never came back. During pre-trial, the prosecutor handed the magazine to an accuser and then had, for whatever that word is, examined. Chain of custody confirms this. This backfired during the testimony of Starvizo, the accuser's brother, where he claimed Jackson showed him that magazine, and Jackson's what? All right, let me finish this up.
Family had lied about their finances to get charity. And while the Arvizo family claimed that Jackson's people held them captive at Neverland, they were seen unescorted at restaurants and on shopping sprees during that time. Multiple timelines didn't add up, and the Arvizo kids gave differing stories about key events. And to believe their stories, you had to accept that Jackson hadn't touched Gavin in the 3 years before the Bashir documentary, but started abusing him about a month later, right in the midst of multiple government investigations. The jury didn't buy it. On June 14th, they found Jackson not guilty on every count. He never lived at Neverland again, saying that the 2003 raid had stripped it of its home status. He spent most of the next 4 years in Bahrain and Ireland, then returned to Los Angeles. Almost exactly 4 years after being acquitted,
Right.
Jackson died of cardiac arrest at age 50, with a cocktail of prescription drugs in the system, including propofol, a powerful surgical anesthetic that his personal doctor had given him for sleep. That doctor was on site and later served 2 years in prison for malpractice.
That's
Then,
it?
even in death, Jackson got no peace. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the post-death accusations against Michael Jackson, because while they're easily the most horrific, they're also the very hardest to judge. In 2019, the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland reignited the whole thing. It
Right.
featured 4 hours of two men, Wade Robson and James
Oh,
Safety.
Raid is cute. Oh my. Marry me already. He's cute. Anyway. Pardon me.
Detailing graphic sexual abuse. The film was well made, super emotional, and it convinced a whole lot of people that Jackson.
Can I just say something? When I was 18, and yes, I was of adult age, especially in my state, that's the age of consent, right? At least I learned that like a little while ago about this. That I liked men that were in their 30s. And I was about to say that, you know what, I'm glad that I was around men that are much older than me because, well, you know what, okay, I like to have people guess at my sexuality, right? Again, This is before I knew I was ace, right? You know, I do find men attractive in an affectionate way, and I can still find women attractive in a platonic way, right? Um, Basically, the reason why I say that is because after a couple of people that I knew that were in the gay community, the reason why that's such an issue is because we didn't have that. How do I explain it? Okay, maybe not we, because well, I don't like sex, right? It's gross to me, right? Doesn't mean that it is. It's just that's what being ace is. The thing is that in the gay community, people that love the same sex, they may live in a neighborhood, city, whatever you can think of, that could beat them to death if they would come out there like the same sex. And this goes for women as well, right? And they wouldn't basically have that healthy, let's just say, social development around their peers compared to, let's just say, their straight counterparts. That's why you see in the gay community, though, even though, well, I know straight people, they got their own problems. Oh, everyone does. But, I mean, even us spades do, right? Oh, don't get me started with how we're pressured to like sex with other people. Oh, my. Um, the thing is, in a gay community, right? We have to. Okay, I keep saying we, right? I'm an ally. That makes sense. I like to keep people guess because I'm ace Christian, right? Um, on purpose because I like to have people guess. It makes my channel more interesting. Okay, I had a weird childhood and whatnot. I don't know. I don't like to like. 'Cause I have a bad habit of sharing. That's why I'm doing this on purpose. The thing is, as someone that's an ally for the gay community, I witnessed it, right? Of how when people that are gay, they like someone that's older, right? Because they don't have that connection. Same for their straight classmates because they may have parents that are abusive and they were molest them. That would basically mucked. Basically means fucked, right? Um, my own dialect, so to speak. Their let's just say social, even sexual development, I suppose. Which is why you could see. I mean, I know for straight people they have age gaps. I mean, hey, if you're both adults, what's the damn problem, right? You could be a 19-year-old dating a 64-year-old. More courage to you. Not to mention, there are 19-year-olds are way more mature that could drive and have tattoos and do porn compared to a 64-year-old that basically doesn't know what that 19-year-old does, that they're more advanced and smarter. You'd be surprised. It's so weird that my viewers, though, until Lauren and Greg basically arrived, right? They were younger than me. And for some reason, it was kind of weird because we have similar interest. You know, it's interesting because I always thought that I gotta act like my age. How do I act? By being kind, open-minded, and just honest. And that's what I'm doing, right? So the thing is, in the gay community again, right? Age gaps are really common. You would be surprised. And for me personally, since I had a really awful connection with my mother's boyfriend, right? Because he forced me to go to church, right? This is why I'm not a Christian. I like to keep the secret. I'm agnostic. And yeah, we got a flat. We got our own symbol. It's an adorable symbol because Dumbo's an atheist, right? I'm more of an agnostic atheist, kinda. Like there is some being, but I'm thinking like there's no God or something because I don't care about the church and stuff. I don't give a darn, but I'm still open about it. If that makes sense, right? It's yeah. It again has a question mark on it, right? And if you look up the agnostic symbol, it's a really cute symbol. And not to mention the atheist symbol is an atom for some odd reason. I did not know why. Because we don't think about the universe, I guess, right? And the thing is, for me personally, during that period, I wanted to have connections with men that are much older than me, right? Even though things kind of went there and I didn't want to basically do stuff with them, but I was kind of pressured doing it. Again, I was of age, right? I was 18, right? I consent to that, but not the sex part, right? And I think that's why for me, at that age, I was comfortable when someone that much older than me. And now, as a 30-year-old, autistic vexillophile, right? That's a Nintendo fan man, I guess, and loves animes because I'm an otaku. Is the other way around. I basically connect with people that are like around 20 because I guess maybe after what happened at that age, let's just say my college age got robbed from me. And when I talk to people, let's just say they're 19 and 20-ish, or 18, like in college, right? I relate to them for some odd. I mean, I relate to anyone's age. But now I think that's why, because I see a pattern, because my viewers are around their 20s, right? Early 20s. Dumbo and Bronny, for example, they're both 20, right? Hell, even my other viewer, I hope he's doing well. Darren, damn, I think he's 19. I think he's 19, I think, right? And they feel comfortable around the topics I like to discuss. We're all adults. We just have a different age gap. Oh, Perp, hello. I'm so sorry about that. So I did hear a theory that he had a skin condition. By the way, I didn't scroll up the comments. I'm just reading from here at the 6:31 mark. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Lauren, that he bleached his skin. And where did Dumbo went? Oh, hold on. Let me scroll up. I'm thinking. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. All right. Okay, good. All right. I already read his comment there. And Lauren, I have no idea. Yeah, it's probably a glitch. Probably because my MacBook is all outdated. I think he was not a sexual predator, just operating in a way that doesn't care what other people think. Yeah, Perp, that's what I was thinking. I feel he wanted to make up for his childhood. Yeah, exactly, because it was robbed from him, right? And Greg, that's really sweet of you to say that. I like that people guess because I know they like to say a lot of stuff about asexuals, right? Because I met this amazing woman. She is gorgeous, by the way. I just wanted to share that. She's ace like me. I still got a video of it. I'm planning on opening that later. She's from Chicago. So Chicago people are really nice. I do not know why. I met her, then a black man that's from there, and then I met another black man from there that I helped pushing this black mother's car that's shoving a white Nissan, and it broke down. So I was a little bit too nervous to confront or whatever. I just went on my way, but it felt good, honestly, doing that deed. I forgot I did that too. I need to go to Chicago. It's a beautiful, the crime rate is so bad. Plus, I grew up watching Oprah Winfrey. So I love Chicago. For a lot of people from Chicago like it out here. I do not know why they like it out here so much. I do not know why. But maybe because they like to be outdoorsy and, well, hey, Chicagoans, come over here. I'm mostly attracted to women from 21 to 40. That's a good age bracket, Perp. But I would prefer to date with my age, right? Perp, if it's okay. And yeah, I'm so sorry, Perp. Literally, how old are you? I'm kind of curious about your age because Greg and Lauren, they're a little older than me. Not by much. Well, Lauren, she's 6 years older than me, but I'm in like their age bracket, right? So I also can see when the same sex when the same sex as me is attractive, but yeah, exactly, because you're straight, right? And there's a lot of age gaps in any type of relationships. I see it in straight. Oh yeah, Greg, absolutely. It's just that it happens more in gay relationships, because I remember I talked to this Dutch boy. He's non-binary, and I knew him since he was 15. And he wants someone to talk to because he wants in a foster home. I forgot what it is because he had abusive parents, and he trusts me a lot because I'll never take advantage of him. He was taken advantage of, and he trusts me so much that he would even share photos of what he looked like because he wore glasses. He plays the piano. He looks gorgeous in his dress. He's in a relationship with a 24-year-old. He's 19 now, and I forgot where I met him. I think it was like Amigo or something. And he wants someone to talk to. He was really sweet, and I feel awful for him. Also, because of his trauma, he had like a diaper fetish. I'm telling him like, no, not with me, right? But I don't bully him for that. It's too cold because he has age regression. Also, he's obviously, since he's Dutch, he's pretty tall, so he's 6 foot, and I just wanted to talk to him as a friend. It's a little difficult because I know how people at that age, they like to make things up and they were pressure older adults, but I want to make sure he's safe because he gets taken advantage of. Regardless of it, well, I think not just his size, but because he's in the spectrum, so that makes me more sympathetic or empathetic towards him. Like Dumbo, for example, it sucks because for people, except for Ian, no, that mother. God, I don't care if you're autistic. You don't send news to me like that, sicko. Oh my gosh, he's not an autistic community. No, no. You're 19. What a coincidence! I got another thing going on here. Awesome. So you like women up to 40, and I'm gonna say, there's nothing wrong because you're an adult, right? There's some gorgeous women that are in their 40s. I want to be honest with you. Older women are pretty attractive. I want to be honest, right? I got to be honest. They're really attractive. And, because especially the ones that are mothers that basically are open-minded, because girls when your age, they kind of irritate me. I'm thinking, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I know you're obsessed with your OnlyFans or whatever, but that, and I'm thinking, okay, like, I don't care these girls or women, whatever you want to define them, mature early. They can't be acting like that. They wonder why they're single. If you want a man to love you, don't basically treat yourself. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing porn. I encourage it for the ones that struggle financially or doing it for the appropriate reasons. But if you basically just kind of bragging how many men that you sleep with, screw off. It kind of reminds me of this one, right? She's Casey, because she's my age. And oh my goodness. I mean, she's chubby, right? She's a tomboy. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm more comfortable on tomboys than, it depends on the woman, right? Because I know women, they feel pressure to be feminine. Now, no, you'd be surprised. A lot of men love women that are tomboys. I mean, look at Tomb Raider. If I was bisexual, I'll marry her. Literally, if I was bisexual, right? She's gorgeous. And I'm trying to think about another woman. The one in the Terminator, right? She's gorgeous. I love women like that because people are thinking that women can't fight or women cannot be a little masculine. No, they can. Look at Samus Aran from Metroid. She's hot, right? I'm just saying this out of kindness, right? Like aesthetically, she's gorgeous. Samus Aran from Metroid and Smash Brothers, she is a gorgeous woman. And I just had to say that women should not feel guilty or ashamed just because they may be a little masculine. Honestly, more women, no, there are a lot of men that love that, especially tall women. You'll be surprised, right? Literally, I know a handful of tall women myself, right? And I like how they hug or whatever. Again, this is not a sexual way. I'm ace, right? Yes, we have our own sexuality. So again, I'm not like, I won't go that way for either sex, like for sexual acts, because I'm not interested. But I can still model both sexes in a beautiful way, right? And I just had to say that because women, they feel guilty that, if they're like 5'10", then they're less feminine. No, you're a woman. Regardless of your legs, you are a woman. You basically have a vagina. You give birth. That's a woman. A man, you have a penis, right? You got pecs or whatever. Okay, regardless if you're 5'1", and there's some gorgeous hot men that are short. You'd be surprised. I mean, look at Murray; he's pretty hot, and he's what, 5'1"? And look, he basically has a woman that is what, 5'10"? Princess Peach, and she's a gorgeous woman for crying out loud. Tall, beautiful, blonde, gorgeous long hair. And Greg, diaper fetish, I think that's the word for it. It's basically, well, I'm not sure that's the term. It's when someone basically, it has to do with age regression, kind of, when they like to wear diapers and sometimes pee in it. I know that's really weird. And they like to feel young, right? I think it has to do with their childhood trauma, which I guess in that Dutch boy that I talked to had to put up with. And he felt comfortable sharing it with me. And I told him it's okay, just don't put it on me. That makes sense, right? And with me being, like, let's just say his online friend and all, he's doing great right now. I mean, being in a relationship, doing well mentally, at least more than he was back then. And I thank myself for that. And thank you, Perb. I do my best to be both a great uncle and a brother. Do not like my oldest brother because of his damn narcissistic girlfriend that put my mother in this position. I would never forgive her. I do want to forgive my oldest brother, but not right now. I don't want to talk to him. Oh, bro, tell me about it. I don't know what's wrong with that asshole. I already, like, people know that one. He impersonated that YouTuber that I had to be in an argument with. So he basically almost ruined my life because, he thinks he can steal someone's identity. Also, my viewer from Utah, Amy, I hope she's doing well. He impersonated her and basically sending me nudes and telling me that I like that and basically wanted to dox my old address when there could be a family that lives there. He should be locked up for that because he could put that family in danger. And and yet he want to blame me that I gave his grandmother a heart attack. Did I not know you had a grandmother? And I don't know you. He is lost it. He lost it. I don't know what's wrong with him. Not to mention, don't get started with the Loud House incident. He sends me 80 photos of this Loud House character that he likes naked. Like, okay, she's 13, right? You know, she has a grown woman's body. It makes it even more weird. And yet you want to make me look awful when I don't tolerate any of that? And you wonder why that damn you wonder why I'm glad I left that fandom for a reason. Because I'm a victim of incest. Yeah, he was a child, but he's practically, me personally, 16 is not an adult, but you're doing an adult act. An 8-year-old can't because they haven't hit puberty. Puberty hasn't existed yet. You, on your hand, did. Well, I'm talking about my youngest cousin, right? Yeah, I don't care if you're basically a child. You're 16. There is a huge, huge gap. Not to mention, 6-year-olds could lie about their age. They could drive and have kids. My mother, she had my oldest daughter when she was 16 going on 17. If you're old enough to basically have children, then you should be doing anything to someone my age. I don't care if you're 16. You took advantage of me, and I still to live with that almost every day. That's why I can never be that part of the family. Never. I mean, I want him to live a healthy life, I suppose, but I had to live with that for the rest of my life. So I don't care. Like, I'm 16, you're grown enough to know what you did. Even when I was 16, when I had my first smartphone, I know what I was doing. Golly, 8-year-olds don't. They're not developed. 16, you still are developing, but you're physically developed. And much, much more mentally. And in maturity-wise. Hell, that's why in some countries, age of consent, at least within let's just say like a 2 or 3 year age gap, is 16. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Like, let's just say, 19 and 16 is weird, but hey, it's whatever. You know? Seriously. I'm not going to figure out what my youngest cousin did. He could go right in hell. So, I just had to share that. Girls really are beautiful, and I feel safe around them. Perp, I don't blame you. Yeah, honestly. And I feel awful for basically women out there that feel really vulnerable. And, Greg had to take care of something. Okay. And, you're into it right now, Laura? I'm sorry to hear that. And I've been trying to tap out the chat. I don't know why your messages. I hope it's not because my channel, because I know YouTube acts like this, because I barely got words or censored here. And you were raised by your grandmother? Oh, that's wonderful. Preach, right? And traditional masculine and feminine is bullshit. I absolutely agree. And based on the Greek stuff, that's very weird. Absolutely. And it's okay, Lauren. Honestly, it just feels so good to talk about it because after what you went through. Exactly, Perk. You can't give somebody a heart attack over a screen, and yet he says that. Like, Ian, you're doing this to yourself, and I moved on, and yet you keep talking about me. I already got proof of what you did to me. I'm your victim. And I think that's, Dion, I think that's the right term, yes. I still can't stop thinking about how he sent me a damn pic of his semen. Like, you're fucking sick. Like, you're lucky I'm not underage. I mean, hell, even if we were both underage, he'd be screwed. Because since we're both adults, I hope that at least we get a counselor. I hate using that word, but he needs one. And I hope that he changes his behavior. Honestly, he's lucky not the cold, cold-hearted type, or his life would be over. I do believe in second chances to an extent. Even Case, I hope that she cleaned her act after what she did. And Ian is trying to do better. Wait, Ian is trying to do better. People bring up his past and he's crashing out, right? I just want him to know that he can't be doing what he did to me, and I hope that he changes his behavior. Because he's lucky that he's autistic, because if he wasn't though, oh my gosh, he would be screwed. So Lauren, Ian Russell, he's supposed to be this guy from Illinois, which is really hard to believe that he's from there. I think in Springfield, that randomly like to basically stalk me online for no apparent reason. I do not know why. I don't know who this man is. He's near my age, and yet he says that, oh, I knew Dion since I was 14. Okay, I didn't have a smartphone until I was 16. So how would that be possible going on 17? Especially for what, 2 years apart? And it's kind of weird because us Aspies, we do look young. I guess it has to do with our neurological development that makes us don't look as mature. That's probably why Michael Jackson doesn't look that old for his age, I think. And he basically would just not only harass me constantly, but my viewers when they were just supporting me. And he would even wanted to pretend to be this amazing viewer that I have from Utah, right? Named Amy. She's a sweetheart. And he would basically pretend to be her and talk to me in a sexual way. So basically, he was stealing her identity as though I'm going to be fooled around that, because there's no way that woman, as kind as she is, that would talk to me like that and even basically tell me that I would like to do sexual acts. Like, are you serious? You know, he's a lost cause. Oh, you're autistic? That's awesome! What? High five. Awesome, or air five. That's awesome. And yeah, exactly, Perk. He's making us Aspies look evil. You know, it's the same way of Daniel Larson. Oh my goodness, I'm glad he's in prison. I am so glad he looks hideous. He's 20. I'm 6 years older than him. He look like he's a fentanyl user or meth user. He look like he's like 48 or something. And you know what he did to his cousin? And then not to mention for Christian, I'm thinking, no, they're not autistic. They're monsters. They don't belong in the autistic community. No. Absolutely not. Not to mention Christian that basically raped his grandmother. That man needs to be. I think that should be the death penalty, especially because she is of elderly age. I wish there was a death penalty. I mean, I agree with life in prison because he can rot, but I see why people say death because you don't have to pay much money, even though people may say otherwise, because when he used that money under death. But I don't know. I think for what he did, it's the death penalty. Air five. That little Sherlock's cute. Honestly. Oh, take your time, Lauren. And I'm fine, don't worry. Literally. And yeah, I just wanted to share this because they're really making us look awful, you know? And it's insane to me. You know, I'll try to think of another autistic freak out there, but those are the only two that are really popular that I've been hearing about. Oh my goodness sake. You know? Oh, let me finish this video up. Yeah, I'm surprised that Greg, Lauren, and Dumbo had to take care of everything.
These men. We got a standing ovation at the Sundance Festival, and critics loved it. It aired during the height of the Me Too movement, when believe all survivors was the prevailing attitude. Anyone who questioned the accusers were labeled Jackson fanboys. Oprah gave them a full hour of softball questions and emotional support. But
also, you know, Perp, I feel like really open about this. What celebrity, what actress do you think is the hottest? I'm kind of curious. Like for me personally, if I could get the top 5, it'd be Scarlett Johansson, Milo, from The Fifth Element. You know, she was on Resident Evil, right? I can't wait till Dumbo gets back so you can hear this. Let's see. I forgot the one that played Maleficent. I forgot her name. Let's see. The fourth one it would be. Let's see who else is attractive. Rihanna, absolutely, and then the last one will have to be. Shit, I don't know what the last one would be. Damn it. Oh, fuck. The last one would probably have to be. I listened to a lot of female singers. Damn it, Dion. What would be the last one? Shit. Cameron Diaz. Yeah, she's gorgeous. That's my top 5. And Lauren, welcome back.
I've learned that documentaries are the easiest way to manipulate people. You essentially own a person's brain for hours, controlling what they see and hear. And if you do it right, their emotions. Leaving Neverland did just that. And whether it was true or false, it was completely one-sided. I mean, no one questioned their claims or presented any contradictory evidence. No one cross-examined their stories at all. Wade Robson had been one of Jackson's most loyal defenders for over 2 decades. As a 22-year-old man, he testified under oath at Jackson's criminal trial, swearing that Jackson had never touched him inappropriately. Then life changed.
And I believe him.
Robson was struggling financially and professionally. And at age 30, he filed a lawsuit against the Jackson estate, saying that he had been molested for years and that the business entities should have protected him from Jackson, because you can't sue individuals after they're dead. SafeCheck's story followed a similar pattern. He also defended Jackson for years, even after the singer's death. And after Robson's case started getting media attention, filed a lawsuit of his own. Even without a cross-examination, the stories have had some problems. SafeCheck claimed that Jackson abused him in a train station at Neverland that wasn't built until 2 years later. But again, the documentary was powerful, emotional, and effective. I mean, Jackson's music got pulled from the airwaves. The problem with the Robson and SafeCheck's allegations isn't just their credibility, it's that they've never been properly challenged. They've essentially been presented by legal documents, a carefully controlled documentary, and supportive interviewers who treated them like confirmed victims rather than accusers making claims. In any event, both men still have outstanding legal cases against Jackson in California, since the state extended the statute of limitations for child sexual abuse claims. So there's more to come on that.
Right.
When I started producing this piece, I had doubts. But as I said, I thought Michael Jackson was guilty. I can't say that anymore. I mean, I'm not confident he's innocent.
Right.
But it seems the most likely scenario. To me, the accusers look like people shaking down a weird rich guy for millions.
Exactly.
Whether Jackson was innocent or not, they pretty much all deserve jail.
Absolutely.
Get past the notion.
It's the same way if a woman falsely accuses a man of rape, or that, oh, he basically is taking pictures in a poor man's perspective. I mean, as much as I am comfortable around women more than men myself, I'm not comfortable around with women that basically like to make fuck accusations. That's why you basically have these men that are innocent in prison, don't get out until basically a couple of decades later, because it reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons when basically Homer wanted, as disgusting as he is, it's kind of like the Michael Jackson Simpson theory. When the attractive woman wanted to babysit Bart, right? Or whatever. Homer will pick her up to drop her off at home or something. And then Homer wanted to get the little candy. And he does a right? She basically thinks that Homer wants to basically rape her or something. No, he just wanted to get that disgusting piece of, I think it's a gummy, whatever it was, that was stuck in her ass, right? In her pants. And next thing you know, Homer was falsely accused of being a rapist when he's not. He's just a weirdo. You know, I don't see Michael Jackson as a weirdo. I mean, yes, it's weird, but a weirdo is basically like a really offensive term. At least one of my British viewers that told me it's a really offensive term in their country, right? Because of how people thinking that, oh, if this is a guy and they want to have a connection with kids, right? This is why so many fathers are now around their kids for some reason. They tend to do awful things as they get older. Not always, though, because my mother, she raised me ever since I was a toddler. My father has been around, and look at me, right? I'm not around harassing women because In fact, I feel really safe around them. Men, on your hand, I mean, no matter what their size is, I would feel a bit nervous, right? And that's normal. And there's nothing wrong for a man to say that they feel nervous around other men, you know. And that's why I do still have respect from Andre so much, because maybe he wants to be a father figure because he didn't, maybe because he feel that he may not have that actual responsibility, right? Or he wants the boys to basically have that father figure that they may not have. And I basically do respect him for that. Yes, it is weird of what he did, but it doesn't make him an evil person. I'd rather be around Michael Jackson than, let's just say, I don't know, um, let's just say OJ Simpson, for example. Yeah, he may seem normal, but oh, is he gonna murder me? Is he gonna harvest my organs? Right? No, I want to be around people that are really weird, because you can be the most normal person, but you could be a murderer, you could be a psychopath. I'm not gonna feel comfortable with that. Or you do something that I don't even know about, then I'm gonna be really concerned. You know, I think that's why for me growing up, like let's just say for example, I'm really comfortable around, let's just say people that I knew that did drugs, right? That even though they should be doing drugs, I know because they had some dysfunctional families. And all right, you know what? If you want to talk about it or if you need help, let me know. And I'm comfortable because as someone that has many mental health issues themselves, I mask it because, well, that's the autistic way. Um, you know, it makes me more aware. And I think that's probably why I can see myself, if I had the courage or the education to work in the medical field or basically working in a mental facility.
There's cornbread and green beans on the stove for you.
All right.
Okay, on the stove only. The other foods, home else.
Wait, the stove?
On the stove, there is the container of cornbread and green beans.
Okay.
Okay?
They come about.
So you guys eat it with whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Oh wait, already migrated the green beans that you bought me in the freezer. That's in the bag.
Well, I have bought my own green beans.
All right.
These are mine.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You can like just save it for when I get to your other meals. You eat the cornbread with the spaghetti or whatever.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And Dumbo said hello.
Huh?
My viewer James. Yeah, James. That's his name. He says hello. So I knew you were gonna say that, Dumbo. I'm sorry. I had to say your name. But yeah. Oh no, Laura's to go to bed. Oh, that's all right. Oh, she has to work tomorrow. Oh, it's good that she's here though. But I'm glad you three boys are still here. So yeah, Micah Justice are weirder because they're not right. I actually agree with you. I mean, the reason why people say that, and I think so too, just being honest, because I want people to thinking that like everything he's doing is okay, right? Is that he would sleep in the same room because he's not related to them. He is still innocent. And I'm just surprised that most people have voted that he is, you know? Only one person voted guilty, which is interesting. And wait, is he dead? I think he's still alive. Well, good riddance. I'm glad that mother is dead. Good riddance. Huh. Good riddance. And I haven't had a father figure since I was 11. Oh, Parp, I'm sorry to hear that. The man who looked out for me moved to New York, and I love women. I act timid. That's totally normal. A lot of straight guys are that way. But I want to learn how to be the best man I can be. And Perp, I can tell, especially since you're, you know, our college age. I totally get it. You know, I really do. See, the thing is for me, as someone that knows how women act, the thing is, when a woman, let's just say, some women, they will lie that they have a boyfriend, right? I'm glad they do that so that they won't get raped or sexually harassed by the men. Or basically, they would make those weird, like, laughs, kind of, because they are afraid that something would happen to them. I can relate because I'm like that too. And the other interesting thing about women as well is that when they, like, when you cross the crosswalk, some of them would be, or one of them, whatever, would be behind me. And that's a good sign because they feel really comfortable or safe around me, regardless of my size. Because I know women, though, they would feel timid because after hearing, you know, stuff about, well, I forgot what other videos I was looking up about how they would get falsely, not falsely, they would get, kidnapped or basically just beaten or anything like that. It sucks. Both sexes have both issues. This is different ways. I know for women it's more complicated than us, but us men, though, we still go through problems as well. If that makes sense. So he passed away last year. Well, good riddance. I'm glad he did. I didn't knew that. I'm shocked. This last year? And Dumbo, I heard about that. I was shocked he was an NFL player. Since I know that you love football, who was that guy? It wasn't for the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm talking about, right? I think they're like twins. And he beat up someone. He looked pretty handsome. I forgot who he was though. He was a little older than you, right? I forgot how tall he was. I've been hearing about that case. They look like they were twins. I'm not sure though. Oh, Cupcake, hello. I know that's a great feeling to make women feel safe and comfortable. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, how dangerous are American schools? Oh, I gotta watch that next, do I? Yeah, I could watch that later. Because I know that all three of you just left high school like a couple years ago and whatnot. I'm just looking at other stuff. Wait, what? Oh, Cupcake, you're still struggling, aren't you? I'm so sorry to hear that. With your jewelry stuff that you've been trying to sell, I don't blame you. It just sucks that your parents treat you like shit. Literally. I hope you still hang in there, Cupcake, literally. What the hell? This happened in my city? Valley taco shop owner arrested accused of what? I can't read the whole thing though because it got cut off. That's bullshit. You know what? I'm gonna balance up the mood here. Let me look up. Where is it? Oh, you know what, Dumbo? This is for you. I'm gonna look this up very quick. This will help with your mental health or whatnot even further. You're gonna love this. Again, I don't know much about sports, right? Just a decent amount.
There are 124 teams that collectively make up the Big Four American sports leagues.
124?
MLB, the NBA, the NFL, and the NHL. Certain franchises have experienced multiple championships, winning records, and Hall of Fame players that have marked their teams as being some of the greatest in American sports. This makes for an interesting question about which team could be considered the best out of all of them.
Cardinals. Let's see. I know the Steelers are pretty good. I know. Okay, yes, us Cardinals. We never basically won the whatever trophy, but we still are a great team. I think the the San Fran 49ers are okay. I think the Seattle Seahawks are pretty good. The New York Mets, maybe. I'm not sure though. The Chicago Bulls are good, right? The Dallas Cowboys are really good, so I've heard.
While some teams have been historically great, other teams have been drowning in sadness and irrelevance. These teams have had too many.
Cleveland Browns finished 27. Oh my God! Cleveland Browns 0-16. Oh my God! Is that possible? And my mother's home state, the Kansas City Chiefs or city.
There are practically zero trophies to display, and that's what I'm interested in. There are 124 teams, and one of them has to be the worst. This is my search for the worst American sport.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wonder where our hockey team is. I think they're in Idaho for some dumb reason. Yeah, our hockey team. I forgot we have one out here because not every state has one. Oh, that's what I get for being an Arizonan. Searching for the worst American sports team. Interesting video so far. Eliminating teams? Part 1. The 49ers. Oh, God, that's a list. 49ers, Bears, Bengals, Bills, Broncos, Browns, Buccaneers, Cardinals. Oh, wait, actually, I heard the Broncos are pretty good. I think I got that from South Park. Yeah, my mother's team. Let's see. The Cowboys. Oh, the Miami Dolphins, right. Eagles, Falcons, Giants, Jaguars, Jets, Lions, Packers, Panthers, Patriots, Raiders. Oh, my God, it's a long list. Texans, Titans, Vikings. Oh wait, oh, this is not this football, right? Hockey club, Hurricanes, Islanders, Jets, Kings, so on.
Now, examining each team individually would be a waste of time. Some teams have just been way too good for them to ever be considered the worst. Is it worth asking if the Yankees and Patriots could be considered as the worst team ever? No, because they've won multiple championships and some of the best players in their sports were on their teams. This means I had to shrink the number of teams down that were considered, with a rough goal of around 5 or so teams that could be argued as the worst. In order to eliminate some teams, there were 2 qualifications that I decided on. Any team that's won multiple championships or has a win-loss record above 500 would not be considered. This made sense to me. For a team to win multiple championships, that means that they were.
Hannah's got a big trophy for hockey. It's huge.
And for a team to have a win-loss record above 500, that means that they win.
So Dumbo, the video's titled "Searching for the Worst American Sports Team." And Cupcake, I'm so sorry. Hold on. What do you mean you might die? What? I hope you're okay. I hope you're in a safe spot, Cupcake. I hope you are, literally. Because working a job for so many years, just like Georgia, Dumbo enough, I'll make it out. I know you will, Cupcake. Because you're still here, right? That's what matters. That's what matters right now. Steelers and Cowboys are not good anymore. Ouch. And oh my gosh, Browns do suck. I'm gonna get rich off music. Hopefully, then that'd be sweet, Perp. I hope you do. Well, I mean, I don't want you to feel forced to, but honestly, I hope that you be succeeding in your music career. But Cupcake, if you want to tell me what's been going on, I'm so sorry for being off topic. Tell me. Yeah, I know Cupcake could be alright, because you told me a while back, right after your parents kicked you out, even though you are of 18, sadly, that you were supposed to be what? Staying in a hotel after hotel, I believe. Because you basically showed your jewelry online, right? I just want to say, Cupcake, because you're 18, right? I know this sounds wrong, but if you're done about OnlyFans, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be sex either. Literally. I just wanted to share that. We're all gonna die. True. So let's enjoy it together while we're here. Yep, I agree. We are gonna die at some point. I mean, I think that's a good thing. Well, of course it's a good thing. I mean, it's just like playing a video game, right? Yeah, you may win the match, but it ends just different ways. That's baseball. Wait. Oh, I don't know that much about baseball. I know our team was the Diamondbacks. I'm sorry, we're supposed to talk about music. This just caught me off guard. What's that noise? So I'm not dressed. Oof, dear. Is someone still with their food in their car? It's gonna get spoiled.
Football team, it would probably manifest as the New York Jets. Their win-loss record is 437, which is the 6th worst in the league. The team has only made the playoffs 14 times, which is the 5th.
Wow, the New York Jets is that bad? Oh my gosh, the 5th worst in the NFL, huh? Ouch.
In the NFL. For a team that was created in 1959, that makes this number look even worse. Often the Jets serve as the punching bag for the other teams in their division, and they're better known for their
Cardinals being the oldest. Wait, we're the oldest team member? Bullshit! And still being this historically, I know, we suck. We hear it all the time. Still love my team though.
They would beat the Baltimore Colts. His guarantee held true, and they went on to win the only Super Bowl that they appeared in. The closest they've been to returning was when they made back-to-back appearances in the AFC Championship in the early 2010s. However, both times the Jets could not get it done. And since losing that game to the Steelers, the Jets have not returned to the playoffs once. 14 years have gone by, and not a single playoff game has had the Jets in them. But even still, the Jets did win. Bullshit!
We're number 1? Bullshit! What? there. I should have known because that person's profile picture has our team's. Let me see. I had to watch my team.
Arizona doesn't have a hockey team.
We
Instead,
did had a hot. Oh, I thought we did.
The Arizona Coyotes had a case as the worst team in NHL.
What?
The key word being had, because now Arizona doesn't have a hockey team. Instead, it's the Utah Hockey Club.
Utah, I love your state, but that is the most disgusting name I've ever read. That's it? Hockey? What? Ew. That's a disgusting name. Yuck. Why does Utah own us? What's so special? Sorry, Utah, not to be mean. I remember when I was a freshman in my college preparatory class, we had to dress all professionally to go to the whatever stadium, and yeah, we did see the our hockey team play. It was lovely, by the way, cold and all. I don't think I have my pamphlet anymore though, because oh my gosh, oh I feel old just bringing that up. It sucks that other states in this country don't get to have a hockey team like we do. Anyway, we're worrying. Oh damn it! I don't think he's here right now. I hope you're doing all right, Cupcake. Literally, I find peace in passing away, but I feel pain when I think of somebody I love leaving. Same here, Perp, and I don't allow that energy in my life. Same here, right? Dumbo, I know what you're talking about. I just hope that he's doing okay, though. Dumbo, I didn't know we the oldest team. That's nuts. Speaking of music, have any of you guys heard? Yep. Greg, okay. Good. I'm glad you're still here. Yes, I'm not kidding. Dumbo talks about them all the time. He gave me a ranking, and I listened to the worst. Dumbo, what was it? I listened to it last night before you went to bed. Right? It was horrible. They sing out of tune. It sounds as though it's a dying goat. It sounds like shit. And I was shocked. Literally. And because if I die, all these people win. No, they're not. Cupcake, they're not. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. You know, I can't help you across the screen. I wish I could. But it's just unfortunate that the Cardinals have been around since. Dumbo, you gotta be kidding me. We've been around that long? That's insane. I mean, I don't care if yeah, it's heartbreaking we ever won, but at least we are the oldest. So that's something, right? I love Utah because NBA YoungBoy moved there. Oh, he did? Really? Oh, so you like that rapper. Interesting. Another viewer, I'm glad he's gone. Dumbo blocked him multiple times, sadly. He likes him now, but he can go to hell. I mean, his name is Slade, but yeah, I do love Utah, though. I do. And I just want to say, Cupcake, we're all here to support you, honestly. I can't wait to become a large YouTuber. If I could help people, like, donate money, because I buy stuff that I don't even eat sometimes. It's just snacks. Then I would. Because it feels good to just give money away. Because, well, I'm going to waste it on anyway. It's just like psychotic effect. Because I'm going to get hungry if I buy that bag of dots later. So yeah, they're the most favorite band. Hold on, why you two type that out and whatnot?
Not considered. Instead, I have 4 teams left that I'm going to make a case for being the worst in American sports. But before any
this is the worst. I'm sorry, I didn't mean the best. Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
Worst teams, I want to give a quick disclaimer. These teams are objectively bad teams. And at the end of the day,
Milwaukee Brewers, Minnesota. Oh, that's a cool name. Timberwolves. Damn, that's a nice name. Oh my God. Colorado Rockies? Oh yeah. That's right. These are supposed to be one of the worst teams? Yeah, I don't care what people say. I still love my team. I don't care if we suck. You don't have to be best at everything. You know what? Since we're talking about music now, can I just play a song for me to sing? Oh, that's right. To my viewers, or from the South, right? I'm sorry. I love this song. I love this song a lot. I don't know I'm not sure what state that she's in. I know it's in the South, but damn it, I love her music. Hold on. Damn, I think, oh, that was the one. Okay, I was looking at the other one. Fuck, I'm gonna wait 30 goddamn seconds for my language. Gone with the Wind, and then Nihilist. This is awesome. I didn't do nothing. How Double, don't, are you Slade? Perp? Okay, listen. I'll give you one. Okay. All right. If you like to be here this much, if that's who I think it is, I'll give you one more opportunity. And if you basically say anything wrong to Dumbo about his mother or anything, or pressuring religious beliefs, you're gone. Which means I do not want you back. You're luckily I have a Care Bear heart. You know, like Care Bears, right? I'll give you one more opportunity. So the thing is, that's Slade, right? This person that had harassed me and Dumbo for a little long time and pushing his Christianity on us. You want to make another account for some odd reason. And not to mention, I know you're friends with whomever. You know what? I mean, listen, as long as you're not in contact with them and you want to be here and knowing that you basically admit your mistakes, Slade, and not pressuring your Christian beliefs, please don't, because again, we're both irreligious, or let's just say atheist, then I'll give you an opportunity. But again, if you basically do anything that makes Dumbo uncomfortable, he will mute you, and when he tells me about that, you're no longer back. Well, I heard otherwise. I just don't know why you basically were being so rude to Dumbo, saying that his mother's not dying. That was really uncalled for. And not to mention, I told you to stop pushing your Christianity on me, and you keep saying "bless you," that and wanting to treat me as some deity. I'm sorry, Slade. That made me really, really, really unsafe when you basically are saying that in the comments. I didn't like that. I just want to be treated as as a healthy human being. Yep. Because if this will stop you from basically creating these accounts, then I'll give you one more opportunity. And if not, you're done. And I wouldn't know. So Greg Slade is supposed to be this viewer that I had that is from North Carolina. That likes my live streams and likes to support me or whatever. And he is a little bit weird because he's a little not there sometimes, since he likes to bring up about his religious beliefs and making Dumbo uncomfortable about it. And I don't know. He's a weird person. And he does have videos, though, of himself, of course, just doing random shorts that I just haven't paid notice about. He's a weird mixed bag. All right, well, whatever. I'm just done with that Discord stuff. I don't want to talk about it. I just want us to enjoy our music, but do not, please, for the love of Buddha's belly, okay, do not pressure Dumbo on bringing up Christian beliefs around him. Okay, please respect that. I like this song. I'm dancing with baby on his shoulder. It's on the sea like molasses in the sky. Everything. Always wanting more. Hear me longing for. Like velvet, a little boy smile. Black velvet, that slow silver style. The reason I bring you to your knees. Black velvet, if you please. I love this song. This is like slow rock.